Hello everyone, I'm Anujavi and I'm a legal intern with Lexis and Company. And the topic for today's video presentation is I'll be talking on the Code on Wages of 2019. I'll be talking about its important provisions and landmark judgments and case laws. So, firstly, wages is defined under Section 2, Clause Y, which means all the remuneration, whether by way of salaries, allowances, or otherwise, expressed in terms of money capable of being so expressed, which would, if the terms of the employment expressed or implied were fulfilled, be payable to a person employed in respect of his employment. Wages does not in the term wages does not include the following, which are any bonuses payable under any law for the time being in force, which does not form part of the remuneration payable under the terms of employment. Second one is the value of any house accommodation or the supply of light, water, attendance, or other amenity of any service excluded from the computation of wages by a general or special order to the appropriate government. Third one is any contribution paid by the employer to any pension or provision fund and the interest which may have occurred thereon, and any conveyance allowance or the value of any traveling concession. And last one is any sum paid to the employed person to defray special expenses and entailed on him during the nature of his employment. So another one is house rent. For example, house rent allowance, which was for the remuneration payable under any award for settlement. Next is any overtime allowance and any commission which is payable to the employee, any gratuity or any retrenchment compensation or other retirement benefits payable to the employee, payable to the employee, or any ex gratia payment. So further moving on, there was further provided that for calculating the wages under this clause, if payments made by the employer to the employee under clause A to clause I exceeds 1/2 or such other percent as may be notified by the central government of all the remuneration calculated under this clause, the amount which exceeds such 1/2 or the other percent so notified shall be deemed as remuneration and shall be accordingly added in the wages under this clause. So other various definitions and provisions are for employer, which is defined under the section 2 clause L, and it means a person who employs whether directly or through any person or on his behalf or on behalf of any person one or more employees in his establishment. In relation to the establishment, which is a factory, the occupier of the factory as defined in clause N of section 2 of the Factories Act 1948, and where a person has been named as a manager of the factory. And another important definition can be the employee, which is given under section 2 clause L of the Minimum Wages Act 1948, which defines employee. Employee means any person who is employed for hire or reward to do any work, skilled or unskilled, manual or clerical, and in a scheduled employment in respect of which minimum rates of wages have been fixed beforehand. So the term employee, which is defined under the Code of Wages Act under section 2 clause K, which means any person who is employed on wages by an establishment to do any skilled, semi-skilled or unskilled manual, operational, supervisory or any managerial activities, whether the terms of employment be express or implied. And it also includes a person who is declared to be an employee by the appropriate government, but does not include any member of the armed forces of the union. And further, another definition can be the of the term establishment, which is defined under section 2 clause M of the Code of Wages Act. It means any place where any industry, trade, business, manufacture or occupation is carried on, and the government and includes government establishment. Now, the constitutionality of the Minimum Wages Act is that the provision of the act were challenged on the ground that they are violative of Article 19 clause 1 subclause G of the Constitution of India. But the Supreme Court in Bijoy Cotton Mills Limited versus State of Ajmer has held that the act is constitutional, and it further observed that it can scarcely be disputed that securing of living wages to laborers, which ensures not only the bare physical subsistence but also the maintenance of health and decency, therefore is conducive to the general interest of the public. And this one is one of the directive principle of the state policy embodied in Article 43. So I'll be continuing the Code of Wages Act in the next video. Thank you.